YouTube, it's your boy, Sean Matrai, here with my KC Cup results. Now, this KC Cup was a good one. WCQ, I should say. I did very well. I just missed at top 100 global. I ended up finishing. I'll show you. Excuse me. Top 200 global, 160th global, 14th NA, which is very strong. I am very proud of myself. We are in prime position that I think if I grind it well next time, we can get top 100 global. I think I've greatly improved as a player to top tier status. I went from, someone who finished at barely cutting top 500 global and sometimes a bit below that, to somebody who now frequently gets over 40k in a KC Cup and close to 50k. And that was my first time ever hitting 50k, which is an insane amount of points. So I think I did very, very well in how I paced myself, took my breaks, did everything I needed to do and not to tilt, and I gave it my all. So yeah, that is very, very good. I am very proud of myself. I'm going to go over the decks I used, and yeah, I'm also going to go over extensively, excuse me, I'm also going to go over extensively my Banlist predictions and what I think is going to be banned. So let's first go over the deck I used. Now, this was primarily the deck I used to get all the way to 49k. This is Odd Eyes Orchest. I was, at times, playing it with 2 copies of Mind Control on the list. And this list was very powerful. Most of the time, you would end on Decode with a Galatea linked and a Dweller on the field, which was enough to beat your opponent. Also with a Ding Revive with Babel, which was enough to win. This deck with Timebreaker Magician can break boards really easily. The skill is very powerful. I do think it has to get nerfed, but overall, this deck was, excuse me, very exceptional. Alright, now we're going to go over my Banlist predictions. So I'm gonna go over what I think needs to be the 1 first. Then we'll go to 2, 3. We'll also start. Actually, we should just start with the band and then the 1, the 2, and the 3. And unlimited. Unlimited, I'll discuss some cards, but I'm not gonna go too far in depth because it'll just be ridiculous. So band. I'm gonna write this at the top here. Band should be Nightmare Mermaid. This card has no application of being in the game right now. Where'd it go? I did change. Nightmare Mermaid just has no application of being in the game right now. I think the card's too powerful. I think it's too abusable in every deck possible. Every Orcus deck can use Nightmare Mermaid. Any deck can use Nightmare Mermaid. As long as you can make a Phoenix, you can run Nightmare Mermaid. Which is crazy to me. So if you wanted to play Salad, you could play Salad Orcus, you could play Guardian Skull Orcus, you could play whatever you want. Ishizu Orcus with 9 starters, Sealed Tombs. So, honestly, in my humble opinion, Mermaid should be banned. So I am going to add that as banned. Next, we're going to talk about limited to 1 cards. These are cards that I think could and should be limited to 1. If you ban Mermaid, you don't have to go too extensive on the Orcus, I think. I think if you ban Mermaid, you fix a lot of the issues. I think this also comes in with skill rebalancing as well. That's something we have to talk about. But definitely, if you hit Mermaid, then I don't think there's really a call for too many limits to 1. But there is a call for definitely limits to 3. And I think that's the big thing. Limits to 2, I mean, you can, but I don't think limits to 2 are needed. I'm just going to jump right to limit to 3, to what I think needs to go. I think right away, we need to see Needle Sealing join the fray. Needle Sealing is something I want to see go to 3. This card is very, very oppressive when used in Rockets, Orcust, any deck that really just can flood the field full of back row. This deck is, I mean, flood the field full of back row and set a ton of monsters or make things that are indestructible. This card's a medicine, and it just wins the game on the spot. I think it's too powerful. I think it needs to go to 3, so you can't play it alongside Crackdown, Calls, and IDP. I think having a needle stealing coupled with an IDP is way too strong, and that just wins the game right there, which both Orcust and Rocket can do. So I think with that, I would put needle stealing to 3. That's my opinion. On top of that, I am adding Scrap Recycler to this list. Scrap Recycler is just too strong for Orcust to have alongside Limit 3s. Orcust cannot have access to Limit 3s. The deck is absurdly strong as it is. And giving them Limit 3s like Mind Control, Compulsory, Crackdown, or RDP just makes the deck absolutely absurd. And we should be limiting the amount of back row text that they can play in the deck, or text in general. So with that being said, I have Scrap Recycler going to Limit 3. Trying to think of other decks that I think really need the nods getting hit. Speedroid are fine for now. Anything else that spurs in the meta to me? Rocket really don't need to get limited to 3. The needle's good enough. Okay, here's another one. Pendulum Call. It's either they go after the skill or they go after this. I don't even know if hitting Pen Call to 3 is enough, but hitting this to 3, they need more. No, hitting that to 3 is not going to be enough. You have to hit more in addition to this skill. Pen Call to 3 is a must. I think that they cannot have Limit 3. Some of them are playing Mind Control, which is... I was playing Mind Control as well. It's just absurd that it gives more to the power of what On Eyes Orcust can do. I think Pen Call definitely needs to get hit to 3. This card is insane. It's automatically a play starter right off the bat. There is like no reason in my mind that this card shouldn't be hit to 3 in any regard. It's just too strong in the meta. Now, there is another hit. Now I'm going to put limit to 2 because I kind of forgot about this and I think this should happen. Now, if you really want to go extreme, actually I think this is better to do. I don't know how strong they're going to do this, but limit to 2, Orcust Nightmare, and Symbol Skeleton. You make it so that way they can only play 1 copy of Orcust Nightmare. Without Mermaid, the deck won't be as consistent. You could put Harp Horror in that spot too. That's also fine. If you wanted to make this a Harp, that's also fine. But definitely, Harp and Skelly get limited to 2, 100%. If you really want to hit the deck hard and refresh the meta, I think these are things that would be reasonable banlist suggestions to make. One that's totally out of the loop, I'm going to add this, is that you put Cosmic back to 3. But I don't think this is personally needed. I think Cosmic is fine as long as you hit Sealed Tombs. Alright, so that is pretty much my call early on. I know people are going to clamor me about hitting Speedroids and blah, 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 blah. Does the deck need to be hit? No, it does not. It's a brand new deck. But like I said, can it be hit? It could. We saw Stardust get hit. Right when it came out. Could it get hit? Possible. I doubt it, though. I don't think it was represented enough. I think Orcust, on the other hand, is definitely going to get hit a ton. But this is what I would suggest. I don't think Cosmic has to go, but this is definitely what I would suggest to shake up the meta. Okay. Anyway, let me go on to... This is where I got to have kind of a blank space here, because I got to type. So I'm going to minimize Duel Links for a brief second, because I'm going to type here. Okay? So this is... Alright, and I think there needs to be 2. I really do. Alright, this is what I think Sealed Tombs should be. Sealed Tombs right now is incredibly oppressive. It was oppressive before when it was free and everyone just played it with Dark Magician in 2019, in the 2018 KC Cup 2019. Now it's oppressive because Orcust use it. With the drop of a Cosmic, you're locked out of making plays in the mirror. Your opponent is, and it's not fair. So you can play the game, they can't. So this is my idea. Can be used after, no, at the start of your turn, main phase. All monsters in, neither player can banish or special summon monsters from the graveyard until the end of the next turn. It now has to be used at the start of your main phase. No more I get to make my plays, Cosmic my release, and turn off my opponent's graveyard. No, that shouldn't be like that. This will not affect the Abyss Actors. If you play Abyss Actor, you don't care about the graveyard. Use the skill. Right? But if you are playing a deck like Orcust and you want to say, okay, I make all my plays and then turn off my opponent's graveyard, you can't do that anymore. You have to be willing to turn off your own graveyard before any plays can occur. Will this be a problem in the future? Maybe, with decks that actually don't care about somebody for the graveyard, but we're not there yet. But in the case of those decks, they're generally not as strong. The decks that don't play in the graveyard, but the decks that do, like Orcust, they're very powerful, and that using Sealed Tombs is a no-go. Okay, think about if you're a Speedroid player. Oh, there's also one more hit in the ban list we had to discuss. I forgot one thing that I think needs to go, but I'll talk. Totally forgot. But yes, here absolutely Sealed Tombs needs to get hit. This was overpopulated. All the Orcusts at the top were using Sealed Tombs. That's a sign that the skill needs to get hit. So this is my suggestion for Sealed Tombs. Next is Raging Pendulum. This skill is absurdly strong. Absurdly strong, but there's only one change you have to make to it. I'm gonna write here. Okay. Let me keep typing, but I have to delete, otherwise we have no room. I'll discuss it all in a second. Back to your hand. That's it. That's all that needs to be changed, that last line. I did all that for nothing. No Orcus in the deck. None of that. Just Magician, Odd Eyes, or Performance Palace. So you're playing it pure, or you're not playing it at all. And this also stops people from running Dark Witch in the deck, or Tackle Crusader, or whatever not. So this is what needs to be changed to the skill. Okay, these are the skill changes I suggest. And I will say this. Speedroid skill. That stays for now. Everything else is fine. And we will boop up Duel Links. Okay? Those skills need to be changed. If they do not change that skill, and they leave Raging Pendulum, Odd Eyes Orcus is still going to be very broken. Alright. Back to the ban list. One other card that I think has to be banned. This is the final thing. Ban Ibley. This card has no place in being in Duel Links at all. No place. This is run in every Orcus deck and every deck that can make links to lock your opponent out of playing decks like Speedroid, Chronomaly, and it costs you an extra deck spot. This card in Duel Links is forever toxic. It doesn't belong in the game. I think it was a mistake to put it in. I don't know why wrapping locks in the game. So, if I were you, if I were Konami, I'd ban Ibley. Alright. So that's going to do it for my video. I will be resuming my Cock Lives tomorrow, so if you want to check them out, follow me on Twitch. I'm not doing any tournament runs this week. I'm exhausted from everything else. Maybe we'll resume them back next week. But until then, yeah. I'm having much more Master Duel content coming up as well. We're going to be doing Sprite to Diamond 1. But yeah, until then, it's your boy. Not Diamond 1, Master 1. But yeah, until then, it's your boy, Sean Matrai, signing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace. Bye, guys.